Good morning, everybody. I know, a quick stinger this morning. I hope I'm live. I'm trying to pull that up so I can double check. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Happy Groundhog Day. It's February 4th. Groundhog Day just passed. So we're going to be celebrating a little bit with, I got a lot of polka and waltz music for the former half of the show. Give me one moment to get my live feed pulled up here. But it's going to be a great show. I got some good songs from that. You guys like Groundhog Day? I'm a big fan. In fact, my cousin's flying into town this weekend. I rented a minivan. Him and his wife and my wife, we're all going to drive down to Woodstock, Illinois, where they filmed the movie Groundhog Day. We're going to see the sights there. Alright, well, I got my feed pulled up here. It's going to be a great show. Right now we're listening to Dar Golan's... something from Dar Golan. He's a person I use for a lot of music. This is some polka or Russian Soviet music that he pulled out, but I found some polka. Anyway. I got coming up here, we just listened to Fish Polka from Rise of the Triad. That's some old game. The composition by Lee Jackson. The first tracks I want to listen to here are little polka themed. First one's Pub Games. It's the menu music from Pub Games DLC, I think, of Fable 2. And a lot of Fable 2's music's by somebody named Russell Shaw. I have another track from Fable 2 later in the show, so we'll learn a little more about Russell Shaw there, I think. And then I have, we're going to listen to some Mallrat from Sims 1 by Jerry Martin. And then I wanted to wrap up with this first section here from Super Mario Galaxy. Gusty Garden Galaxy. So we're just going to get right into the music this morning. Happy Groundhog Day. Happy February 4th. It's going to be a great Wednesday. That was Gusty Garden Galaxy from Super Mario Galaxy. Composers Mojito, Yokota, and Koji Kondo. Koji Kondo, big for a lot of the Nintendo tracks. In the middle there, we played Mallrat from Sims 1 by Jerry Martin. And he did a lot of music for Sims, and I had a quote here from him that really fits. He said, "I wanted to make the music to be something that could be played for hours and never get annoying." We'll probably listen to some other tracks from different Sims in the future. It is tough to find music from video games that at all is polka themed, but there are a lot of waltzes. So the next track I have here, and the next few are a few waltzes celebrating Groundhog Day. This first one's Waltz for the Moon from Final Fantasy VIII by Nobuo Uematsu. But before we do that, I have to stop myself. I have a correction. I had an angry email from last week's episode because unfortunately I didn't reveal the answer to a little trivia question I like to do in the middle of the show. The trivia question last week was 35% of people have never used this in their car. And the angry email let me know that I never gave the answer to that, so I apologize. 35% of people have never used this in their car. The answer last week was their horn. Their horn. Waltz for the Moon, Final Fantasy VIII. And that second track I played there was from Team Fortress 2. It's called Seduce Me. A little more jazzy than waltzy, I guess. But I thought I had something to say about either of those tracks, and I completely blanking right now. But anyway, the next track I have here is called Comet Observatory 3. It's from Super Mario Galaxy. It's again from Koji Kondo and Mahito Yokota. And maybe by the end of this track, I'll remember what I wanted to get to. Comet Observatory 3. That was Comet Observatory 3. I really enjoyed that track. The last waltz I have coming up here is from Nier Replicant. And both Nier Autonoma and Nier Replicant are very well known for their soundtracks. Really popular ones to listen to. Nier Replicant, though, I really haven't listened to much of. I was really impressed this week listening to some of it, especially songs like this. We're going to take a listen to. This is called Dance of the Evanescent. And all the music for Nier Replicant is composed by Monika's team, led by Kiichi Okabe, and collaborators Kigo Hoshi, Kiro Ishima, and Takafumi Nishimura. So many Japanese names, but they described the soundtrack as probably Kiichi Okabe, the lead here. He described the soundtrack wanting the music to hurt gently. This is Dance of the Evanescent. I imagine the song falling apart there has something to do with the game. I'm not sure. But that's the best track I could find of it. But that was Dance of the Evanescent. And I remember what I wanted to say earlier because I wanted to complain because it's getting warmer out. It's warm in here. It's been warm outside. Some of the snow that fell this weekend has started to melt the next day. And then you see this pessimistic groundhog prediction at the beginning of the week here coming from Poxitani. It seems like that guy over there always wants another 6 weeks of winter. They're a little too close to Appalachia. I'm pretty sure that groundhog over there is high on fentanyl. But the groundhog over here near Illinois, in Woodstock, Illinois, where I'm going to be visiting this weekend, where they filmed the movie Groundhog Day, he did say it's going to be in early spring. So I'm hoping that one is a little more accurate here. The next track that I have here is called Old Town. It's from Fable 2. And then I'm just going to let it keep playing here. Following that, I have a song called Apatow Night. It's from Sonic Unleashed. And I have a couple of quotes here. We're going to lead into Old Town from Fable 2. The Russell Shaw, he did a lot of the music for Fable 2. And he said that he wanted Albion's music. He said it should sound like it grew there. I played a lot of Fable 2 growing up. I loved this game. But the soundtrack's not too good. I don't know if you really want to listen to the whole thing, but I thought Old Town is a pretty good listen. So we'll take a... Welcome to the chat, anyone who's joining. I hope everybody's having a great Wednesday. Good morning. That was Abatos Night from Sonic Unleashed by Tomoya Otani. And he said something similar about that Russell Shaw did about Fable 2. Russell Shaw about Fable 2 said, Albion's music should sound like it grew there. Tomoya Otani said about Sonic Unleashed, each country in Sonic Unleashed needed its own musical identity. I don't know the game that well. I wanted to give a quick shout out to a listener of the show, Nick, who sent me a DM in the last 24 hours. He just said that he got his first fire cape in old school RuneScape. So it's a big milestone. We're all very proud of you, Nick. The next track I wanted to play was a song called Seascape. It's from a game called Anarchy Online. Has anybody heard of this game, Anarchy Online? I have no idea. It's an old game. But boy, what a soundtrack. I think everybody... We've disconnected, so I just have to make sure that I'm back live now. Or if the stream ended and I have to restart it. Okay, so it seems that we are live, so I apologize. I'm not sure what happened there. Where was I? Seascape. Okay. Seascape from Anarchy Online. It's a little unique. It's a little original, but it's a good listen. A lot of that soundtrack is very ambient. I hadn't even thought of the music from MMOs before this week. I hadn't really given it much thought. And there are a lot of MMOs to pull from with a lot of great tracks. I've been listening to a lot of them, and I have more of that for the later half of the show. For right now, though, I have a trivia question. Then we're going to take a listen to a few tracks from different Zeldas while we think about that trivia question. This week's trivia question: 33% of people have no plans to visit this place this year. 33% of people have no plans to visit this place this year. What is it? And while you think about that, we're going to take a listen to Zelda's Lullaby from Ocarina of Time, Midna's Lament from Twilight Princess, and Clocktown Day 1, 2, 3, and Final Hours from Majora's Mask. Three of a lot of people's favorites. All by Koji Kondo, of course. 33% of people have no plans to visit this place this year. What is it? That last one, of course, from Majora's Mask, a medley of Zelda music there. 33% of people do not plan to visit this place this year. I'm in that category. I'll put myself in that 33%. It's the gym. I don't plan. Maybe I'll be going for a few walks, but don't think I'll be going to any formal gym. 33% of people. 66% seems pretty optimistic. I think a lot of people in that stat might be lying to themselves. Coming up here, like I said, I got a lot of soundtracks from MMOs for the later half of the show. The first one I want to play here is from Guild Wars 2, from our boy Jeremy Soule from Keokuk, Iowa. This is The Shiver Peaks from Guild Wars 2. That was the Shiver Peaks from Guild Wars 2, Jeremy Soule. I want to play these next few tracks, or next couple of tracks back to back. It's a lot of ambient sound, but they got a lot of great sections too to listen to. This first one's Elwyn Forest from World of Warcraft, which again I would never have thought of. I was doing a little research this week. It took me weeks to even think to review any MMO music at all, but this is Elwyn Forest from World of Warcraft. And then I wanted to listen to Below the Asteroids from Eve Online. But we'll just jump right into it. World of Warcraft composers are Russell Brower, Jason Hayes, and Neil Acree. And Eve's musical composer is John or Jan, who really knows, Halur. Let's take a little listen. Below the Asteroids from EVE Online by John Hallour. And I want to tell a little story. Speaking of Johns, I lived in Colorado, Fort Collins, Colorado, for a few years. My neighbor John was a big fan. He grew pot, had a great dog, great neighbor. He would come over, bring a big jar. But he was a big fan of EVE, and it was part of his life. He had 5 or 6 monitors set up, different accounts, constantly doing EVE things, getting notifications from people in whatever faction he's a part of, constantly having to go and do these things with a large team. It's a huge thing, EVE, but he encouraged me to try to get into the game and maybe play with him a little bit. So I created an account so I could start building that up. I logged in. My buddy showed me, John, he showed me a few ships. We taught me how to mine. And I set up, it's a very AFK game, away from keyboard game. So I set myself up mining, went downstairs, we smoked a couple blunts, I went upstairs, logged out, never logged back in again. EVE Online was not for me, but it does have a pretty good soundtrack. Next, I'm going to play this track from MapleStory, which is a much different vibe here. It's called Missing You. And MapleStory is it's composed by Studio EIM. There's no real individual composers credited to a lot of their tracks. Studio EIM is a small Korean in-house music team that worked closely with the company Nexon during MapleStory's early years. They focused on simple piano melodies, soft ambient textures, and slow harmonic movement. Missing You from MapleStory. And that was Missing You from MapleStory. Just going to jump straight into this next track here. We only have 5 tracks left to get into the end of our show. This is Grizzly Hills from World of Warcraft. A lot more ambient sound in this one, and I might cut it off a little early, but this is Grizzly Hills. Again, Russell Brower, Jason Hayes, and Neil Ackrey. And then from there, it really just does continue with just ambient music throughout the next 3 minutes of the track. So there is some things in the background, though. I'm just very split on playing this track. I think we'll just fade it out here. What do we got? We'll keep it playing. Grizzly Hills from World of Warcraft there. Like I said, it goes on for another 4 or 5 minutes like that. And I just couldn't stand it. But I thought the beginning, I really liked the first half of that track, so I did still want to play that today. Grizzly Hills from World of Warcraft. I have 3 tracks coming up now. This first one's Wake Up Ciri from The Witcher 3, written by Mikolaj Stranatsky and Percival Schutenbach. Wake Up Ciri from The Witcher 3. Then we're going to get into, we're going to listen to Fields of Shire from Lord of the Rings Online. Lord of the Rings Online soundtrack was written by Chance Thomas, who also scored Dota 2 and James Cameron's Avatar the game. I think Lord of the Rings Online is probably his best work. And then we'll wrap up this little set with Outset Island from The Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker, again by Koji Kondo. But first, let's take a little listen to Wake Up Ciri. Outset Island from the Wind Waker. A little fun upbeat here. Joining us on February 4th, Wednesday. Another great Wednesday. It's going to be a great day. I got one track left here. It's from a game called Grizz, which I've never heard of, but it's got quite a great soundtrack. I think it's a German game because they describe the composer as a Berlinist. This song's called Firmament. The composer is Marco Albano, and he describes, talking about the game Grizz, he says, "We wanted to create a specific mood for the game. Each area has its own sound. We tried to create a peaceful and relaxing mood at times, and on other occasions, more emotional and intense moments. The music grows in intensity as much as the art and visuals do in a parallel way, adding an emotional component each time." And this is Firmament from the game Grizz, Marco Albano. All right. Oh, we've made it to the end of the show, everybody. Right at the 8 o'clock hour, too. We really nailed the timing today. Should be a great day. I hope everybody enjoyed some of the tracks. I really like the tracks that we pulled today. A lot more ambient music than I usually pull. We usually try to end with, I've been ending, I guess, with some larger orchestral tracks the last few weeks, but it's the 5th week. It's Groundhog Day. Do a little polka, do a little waltz, and then just keep it ambient. Happy Wednesday, everybody. I'll be back next week. Tell you all about this trip to Woodstock, Illinois, celebrating Groundhog Day. Shout out to Nick again, Merch Mouse in the chat, anyone else listening. Have a great Wednesday, folks. I still end it like this, right? Drive safe, drive hard. There we go. Cheers.